Hello, my friends. Welcome to the metal shop. Got a bunch of projects we're kind of sort of wrapping up here today. Have a neck that I've sanded the logo off of, buffed, sanded all the clear coat off of, and I've applied a hand rubbed gunstock oil, a true oil, and my tinted oil finish to the neck. This one needs to still get logoed and clear coated over it. This is for another Fast Eddie Clarke project. It's these newer necks. It didn't come out quite as dark as I'd wanted, but it is what it is. I'm sure that they will darken up quite quickly. Have another brass pick guard here. I don't know if you can see that, but I have the have it etched for a humbucker there. We're going to get after it with a Dremel. Cut that out for a humbucker. And we also have, I have this bridge. It's a 2-point bridge, 2-point fender bridge. It looks too good. It looks brand new. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the old Kleenex and acid PCB etchant solution. This is ferric chloride acid. This will dull this out and make it look nice and old, okay? But the real project we got going on today is this body. Now this is a brand new, it's a factory second or used or whatever. It's a Squire, but it's no finish, obviously. So what I'm going to do is we're turning this into another Fast Eddie Clarke, and what I'm going to try is we're going to try the heat gun. I've seen some guys have really good results, and I wasn't sure if I should do this because it's perfect, but the shine, it's just never going to be what I want it to be. I could hit it with a Scotch-Brite pad, knock it down, but then it's just never gonna look like an unfinished guitar, like with no finish on it. It's just, I got it so dirt cheap that I'm gonna try the old heat gun. We're gonna try it, see how it goes, So we'll do all those things in a time lapse and come along for the ride. All right, cool. All right. Well, heat, complete bust. It just doesn't work. I've seen guys with, using the heat gun and just lifting off the paint like it's nothing. It's just not happening. Not at all. And I swear to God that I'm breaking into one of the joints here. And this guitar is going to break if I do that. This is, I don't know, frustrated, very frustrated that it just didn't work. You saw, the time lapse was, I'm impatient. I don't know how long that took me to do that little bit there. A solid 10, 15 minutes. This is just not happening. I'm not, who's got that kind of time? So I'm going to break out the big guns and we'll sand it just like we've done in the past. All right, so what did we learn? Heat gun doesn't work. Peel off the paint. Sanding the paint off is a giant pain in the butt. That time lapse you saw is probably a solid 30 minutes. And I've got the top and the back largely done, but none of the sides. I've got this looking nice and even and nice and weathered, ready for a logo and some clear coat over the top. I have the bridge soaking here under the Kleenex and the etching solution. That should work nicely there. I'll show you that. Got this cut, and these are a pain. These super thin ones. The thick one's so much better. You know, the one that Fender used to sell for $100, but this is what we're reduced to these days. So I'm going to file this under cheap is expensive. My wife's grandfather used to say that all the time. Cheap is expensive. And what did he mean by that? And he's talking about is things like tools. Buy cheap tools and they break and you have to buy them again. That's expensive. I'll give you a perfect example. Not necessarily of a tool, but I have a Weber grill that I've had for over 25 years. Now I've replaced the grill part and even the flavorizer bars, but I spent $500 on that grill and I've had it over 25 years, and I've put probably $100 in parts into it. So let's say $600 versus the guys who go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever and spend good money, $300, $200, $300, $400 on a grill that's just a piece of garbage and goes to the dump in 3 or 4 years. So cheap is expensive. What am I trying to say? I will never do this again. I'm going to start, if I build another one of these Eddie Clarke Stratocasters, and this one will be for sale on Reverb soon, so watch out for that. I'll never do another one like this. Now, honestly, I bought this. This was so inexpensive. I bought it for the neck. The body was like almost thrown in for free, and I got some pretty parts. But I'm going to start with an unfinished body. I'm not going to sand another one of these. It's just a pain. It's not worth it. Cheap is expensive. Cheap out. And what's expensive is it's my time and aggravation in sanding this. All right, so we have transitioned once again to the metal shop upstairs city guitar workbench. We're going to be assembling the Fast Eddie Clarke pickguard assembly. There's our clear. I'm going to peel off the protective layer on the back. We have the brass, and this time I've polished it with Never Dull and a bunch of elbow grease, and it looks way better. Actually, really nicely looks the part. Have a really nice Fender Squire series, one of the original ones. This is from dated 1995. So this is nice pickups, nice pots, nicer switch. Everything's a little bit much nicer than the stuff that you can get today. We're going to use the X2N clone that I bought. Waited a long time for this. I think this is like a Guitar Madness or a Fury, the exact copy of an X2N, just made offshore. This is the neck we're going to be using, and quite honestly, this is from a previous project. This neck has a little bit of a twist in it. I'll be a lot more on this guitar once it's completed, but this one, although it will play, it will sound good, it's more of a wall hanger, and I'll get into that a lot more when it comes time for the completion of this guitar and when it is sold. Be available on Reverb. And another upcoming project here, we have Strat headstock, Floyd Rose platform, and Jerry Cantrell's signature there. So this is upcoming. This is not for the Telecaster, the Jerry Cantrell Telecaster. That one has maple neck, and you can't tell because this one has my little sock trick on it there for masking, but this one is a rosewood neck. That's right, we're doing a Blue Dress Girl G&L replica. It's going to be my own take on it. It's going to be a little nicer in my opinion. We're going to have a really nice hot pickup in the bridge. This one's going to have a Floyd, not a Kaler, and we have this really nice vintage white matching headstock, Floyd platform. That came out fantastic. I mean, I'm so happy with that. And I have all of the decals to do the Jerry Cantrell Blue Dress single hum G and L guitar. upcoming projects. Anyway, let's go on to the time lapse and get our stuff transferred over. All right. Awesome. All right. So pick guard is done. What a pain. Yeah, what did I have to do? I had to drill these holes. Oh, you saw me tapping the pickup here, the humbucker, the X2N there, to because what I wanted to do was I wanted to run the same large screws here from the single coils just for looks. And I realized that I need to drill out these, I don't know why, it's like they didn't countersink for the humbucker. I'll have to check that out, and I may have to just kind of get those holes a little bit there. And this does still have the protective film over the top of it. I'm going to leave that on there so you don't get the full effect. But yeah, we're in progress for the next Eddie Clarke, Fast Eddie Clarke Stratocaster. Still got to wire the thing up. You saw me back there. Messing with the wires and the zip ties and just trying to keep everything, you know, neat and tidy and clean there. This knob doesn't match. I've got some more on order. These are Music Lily knobs. Kind of nice. The knurling's not super. Yeah, that one's just loose. Anyway, that's wrapping up the Fast Eddie Clarke pick guard there. Still got a bunch more to go, and can rejoin me back in the basement when I finish sanding that body. All right, so back in the basement, doing I'd probably be the last of this installment of another Fast Eddie Clarke build, kind of a day in the life here at the metal shop. We've got the all the hardware has been aged. I used the PCB etchant solution, ferric chloride acid, to get everything, and you want to keep an eye on it, or it can really dig into your parts. Apologize for the air conditioner. It's starting to warm up again, as it should. It's August. I think they came out pretty good. You know, it's cheap Squire hardware. Squire, we're not going to use this. I mean, maybe I'll use this side. Yeah. Anyway, so after I kind of soaked it in that, I let it sit overnight in a plastic bag to keep all the fumes trapped in. Kind of helps to age the stuff. And I took it out, and then I sprayed it down with WD-40 and drained it and sprayed it down a couple more times to kind of just to, you know, neutralize any acid that's left on it and make sure that the parts all keep moving as they should, and they do. So let's slide these out of the way. And I have this body is finally done. And a combination of, I did use the heat gun and chipped away at it on the kind of the edges where it's very thin. It worked. It was a little frustrating because it's, you know, hard. It was really hard, and I'm an instant gratification type of person. You know, like I said, I want to see the guy using the heat gun and peeling up these huge pieces of paint. Just didn't work. So combination of the vibratory sander, which you've seen, the Dremel with the drum to get into just the tiniest little bits of the cutaway. This Dremel Multimax tool here with the sanding attachment on it worked really well. So there we are. It came out really nice. As I've said before, this is the last body that I'm going to sand like this. Unless I'm doing something like a relic job where it's got a paint, you need to remove some of it. This is the last one I'm going to sand. We're starting with unfinished bodies from here moving forward. So And part of the thing is, you get the clear coat comes right off, but then there's also like a grain filler that's under there. This body's going to have some nicks and some dings. I dug in with the scraper a couple times. I actually tried a chisel, way too sharp, cutting right into the wood. That was just no good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do just a little bit of wipe stain on it, and then you'll see. I mean, like I said, this is the last one to sand, but to truly get it to look like Fast Eddie's guitar, it had, a Palomino effect. There's like, it's kind of splotchy on the sides, and maybe the cutaway looked a little bit different, and the belly cut looked a little bit different. And there, you can see that right there. So that is completely sanded down to bare wood. That is a little bit of sanding sealer still left on there. Now I could go after that, but I'm going to leave it because that's the kind of the look I wanted. I want it to look a little bit splotchy everywhere except the front face. You want it to look really nice. So let's go to we'll do a little bit of a time lapse and get some stain on to try and start aging this thing. All right, awesome. Got the gloves on already. Cool. All right, well, there you have it. You see, the wipe stain is really just to kind of give it pre-ages it, gives it that a little bit of a yellowed out color. And actually, this is a bit darker than I wanted, but it's okay. You'll see when you get the brass pick guard on and the pot leaf sticker and all the hardware, it looks the part. And this is how I've made the other ones. People really seem to like them. But you see just how much of that my special proprietary is based on tung oil finish, but you saw how much that it absorbed. And when I stopped to sand a little bit, what I was doing was there was some work marks in there that I didn't really care for. And I didn't want them left in there. So that's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to, if I'd wanted to mute the that wipe stain, as you saw, I could have sanded it and got a good portion of it off. But I think this looks good. And you'll see in here, this color's not so great. Fine, who cares? The pick guard is going to cover this. So you're really just going to see, the good aged portion there. And it actually, it feels really nice. The finish feels really nice. And you see the difference there? See how dark that is there? And that's not really what you want, but it gives you that splotchiness. That's a little bit more than I wanted, but so be it. Yeah, so we'll let this dry. It's soaked in a lot. I think I hand rubbed at least 3 good coats onto there. So final video will be, or the final portion of this video will just be a real quickie, because I've done this so many times for you guys. I don't want to be boring and repetitive. Will just be the assembly of this guitar, and I have the pick guard all set up. I got a nice X2N clone for this. The brass pick guard came out really nice. Nice brass knobs. Got the aged hardware. I think this thing's going to be really nice. It will be a great, decent player, but a fantastic wall hanger. So join me for the assembly. All right, cool. All right, never mind. I retract that last statement. I added everything up and I saw a 20-minute video, so we're going to close this one out here. There's our aged hardware. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Truly do appreciate your support. Please hit me up in the comments. Still respond to every single comment that I get. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you don't already sub, tons of good content on here. If you enjoyed this, please give me a sub. Give me that thumbs up. Really helps recommend my videos to the algorithm, and doesn't cost you a thing. So if you enjoyed, smash that thumbs up. All right, my friends, we're closing this one out. Thanks so much again. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Whoosh.